Whenever I type Finland in my YouTube search, I will get harassed. Let's go with that. Yeah, harassed, I think it's a good way to describe it. With all those fucking military videos saying Russia is ready to move into Finland. Putin will make the worst choice of his life invading Finland. What will happen if there will be a Russian invasion in Finland? Finland is ready to defend itself from Russia. All these scenarios, let's go with that never happened, but where Russia is gonna fail before even moving on. I don't understand it. I mean, I know it's kind of a niche that arouses many viewers into think that Russia would just fail against any country in the world, particularly against Finland. So yeah, when I saw this video by Geopod, Finland versus Russia, I was so excited. At least we're gonna check out a video that we can laugh at.
Two most alcoholic, cold, slop-eating, redneck, most adrenaline-loving countries on earth have beef. I'm here today to squash it. And I'm not talking Hesburger. I'm not talking Vakoshno Toshka. No, I'm talking Europe's most overlooked, most bitter rivalry. Finland versus Russia. It's 1939. A certain Georgian man called Stalin has his eyes on this bit of land by St. Petersburg. Bro, imagine if we had that warm water port. When Finland rejected the USSR, poor heartbroken Joseph lost his shit and sent about 1.5 million comrades to annex the whole country and establish the Soviet Republic of Finland. On paper, this should have been light work for the communists. The USSR's population and economy were both...
I've never heard of this story. Bro, they even had their own flag. That's crazy.
On paper, this should have been light work for the commies. The USSR's population and economy were both about 45 times larger than Finland's. We all know the USSR was having monumental victories around this time. They did literally sacrifice 27 million dudes to win World War II for us after all, which we were just so grateful for. If you want to know how it feels to win a world war, hear me out. Supremacy World War III is a goated free online player versus player strategy game. And
that was good.
World is going.
I'm not gonna play the game, but if you're a fan of this, there will be a link in the description to the original video, and then you can click on this, or just get this one. Come on.
Right now,
support the guy.
Between real, if you go hit the link, focus on 1930. Go redeem your prize now. Anyway, just before the war is when I want to focus on 1939. Finland was nowhere near the white person Wakanda we know today. It was one of the least developed nations in Europe at the time, especially military-wise. They had no tanks, no planes, no big guns. The majority of Finns lived rurally, just skiing around hunting for food. This is what led them to obviously losing the war. That's right, while Stalin's starving gulag slaves were trundling through the...
Wait, Finnish ski soldiers flexing on the ops abandoned stock equipment. Oh my god, that's right, proper English, I can't understand it.
Snowy wasteland north of St. Petersburg, east of Helsinki, slowly dragging around their cumbersome, heavy and noisy machinery, getting all their tanks stuck in the trees, meter-deep snow and semi-frozen lakes. Worst of all, standing out like sore thumbs in the snow with their brown uniforms and loud equipment. The Finns destroyed these guys. 1/3 of the 1.5 million Soviet soldiers never made it back home, whereas Finnish casualties were somehow within the 5-figure range. Why? Well, the Finns simply hunted down the Soviets the same way they hunted down reindeer, using methods they had been perfecting since they arrived at the Baltic Sea 4,000 years ago from Siberia. The Finns dressed up in this all-white drip, blending into the surroundings seamlessly, gliding around this all-white
kind of looks like Yannick Sinner, right?
drip, blending into the surroundings seamlessly, gliding around on these silent, stealthy skis in small groups of friends, or even alone, camping nomadically, moving unpredictably, basically just like they were all on a boys' winter hunting trip. And they had the gear to match, hunting rifles and vodka. Yep, the Finns over a couple wars were able to completely stave off a Soviet occupation, only losing a bit of territory. And a fraction of the men, the the USSR lost by sneakily sniping and Molotov cocktailing the shit out of these massive USSR battalions. Simo Haiha, aka the White Death, is the most famous Finnish soldier for these wars. He is statistically the most lethal
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, I've never noticed the resemblance with Yannick Sinner.
sniper the world has ever seen. In less than 100 days, he wiped out over 700
Okay, like this, it doesn't look anymore like Yannick Sinner, but yeah, before
Soviets.
younger,
and he was simply a Finnish farmer who'd been hunting his entire life, which is the same story for all the Finnish soldiers. They employed tactics only someone like themselves would know. For example, chewing snow to hide their breath and all this steam. Anyway,
What? Had no idea. Come on, Stalin W. Lose over 400k men just to annex territory equal to the size of Rhode Island. I don't know about Rhode Island, so...
Soviets were completely
it's in America, right?
And the Finns had 3 slivers of their land robbed, annexed. In the big 2025, they're still salty about it. Like Hesburger chips, saltiest things you'll ever eat in your life. Historically, having Putin as your neighbor is... not ideal. And Russia's most recent special military operation, definitely not a war, by the way, yeah, not a war at all, bro, was sold as a Russian Z battle against NATO expansion. And regardless of what you think, it's clear the Ukraine war had the opposite effect. Not only did it make life in Russia extremely difficult and shit, sanctions, economic collapse, conscription, families receiving meat grinders as compensation for their sons who were sent to war with no military training at all.
God, oh my god. Cream betweens! Wait, what? I mean, they are genius, to be honest, with all the restrictions and then come out with stuff like this to replace the original.
The special military operation also led to the most significant NATO expansion in years.
Let's just do like this,
Countless countries cozied up to NATO. Sweden, Moldova, Georgia, Bosnia, North Macedonia, etc, etc. Unfortunately, the special military operation has only strengthened woke Westerners' grip on Europe. Most significantly, Finland, who in 2023 joined NATO, which as a result more than doubled NATO's pre-existing border with Russia and pushed NATO much closer to Russia. Good job, mate. Congratulations. And now with Russian drones and even Soviet-era spy planes looming over NATO's skies, the beef is sizzling away hotter than ever. Those Hesburger patties are crisping up under all this pressure, man. And if you want it explained in brain rot terms, IShowSpeed visited Finland this year, and these goddamn redneck Finns,
I've reacted to it. Go and check out my reaction video to it.
Genuinely dressed him up in a Russian military uniform and set him on fire. And that's what I'm gonna fix now. Russia versus Finland. I've got one main category I want to focus on to see who's really worthy of the W in this bitter rivalry. Alcohol. First off,
Okay, Ruski Standard. Russian standard, eh? Are you impressed that I can read the Cyrillic? Most of the times I can read the Cyrillic, but I have no fucking idea what I'm reading, but yeah, sure.
Now it's well known that Finns are the alcoholic heavyweights.
Oh, I remember this guy listening to, oh my god, what was it called? To Irvin Goodman, right? Oh my god, yes, and then he fell.
That's a lot.
Vittu! Satana! Scott! Perkele! Bro, why aren't you sending me these great memes? Oh my god, what is he finding these memes?
Vodka is so ingrained into Finnish society, it's actually kind of what they're known for.
Oh my god! Oh, extremely famous Swedish sketch. Never seen this one. The 5 stages of Finnish drinking.
No one really associates Nokia with Finland, despite it being literally from a town called Nokia in Finland. But if I say Finlandia, hey, that's as Finnish as it gets. Finland produces something like 50 million litres of alcohol every year. That's like 2 litres for every single human in the Nordic countries. Mainly Finlandia vodka and long drink, which are these really tasty mixer drinks. You cannot even taste the alcohol in them one bit.
Oh my god, bro. I like the fact that he chose this one as well. I mean, I think it's the most famous, right? Oh my god, it was so good. Yeah, very soon I will be making another snack video. Maybe I will organize a live stream and I will buy it during the live stream. I will let you guys pick whatever food do I need to get from the Finnish website that is gonna ship it to my house. Yes, that's a great idea. Let me know in the comments if you're down to it.
Long drink must have led to so many blacked out Finns I can't even imagine. And then obviously think about how much alcohol Finland imports too. It's a phenomenal feat of alcoholism. It's insane. I think Finns' affinity for hard spirits,
oh, I remember this
comes
one,
from the weather and the misery of living this far north, but also I think it comes from their food. You have to be drunk to eat this shit, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, come on. Don't hate on Finnish food. Don't hate on Finnish food. Mammi, I want to try mammi, to be honest. Salmiakki, come on. I'm gonna get angry if someone says that salmiakki tastes like shit. Come on, I love salmiakki.
The only good food I ate the whole time I was in Finland was Russian food. Look, I know this might be a bit controversial. I low-key think Russian food is S tier, I can't lie. But all the
Bro, come on, what the hell? Are you kidding me? How can you say that Finnish food is not good?
The Slavs and post-Soviet people will genuinely start World War III in the comments if I start calling specific food items Russian. We invented it. No, we invented it. No, we invented it, bro. What I will say is it blows.
That's true though. The most popular food from Russia should be borscht. And borscht is like from most countries make borscht, right? Finnish motherfuckers coming home to a delicious lukewarm plate of jellied velociraptor intestine. Bro, there's so many good Finnish foods. Come on, every country has some food that is very weird and disgusting to most. Come on, just go to Sicily here in Italy and try the street food. Then come back and tell me the Italian food is the best in the world. Of course, if you're gonna pick the worst parts, and let me show you the food that we got here in my region that is very popular. My father loves it. When I tried it, I wanted to throw up. Yeah. Wait, let me find it. Oh my god, wait. Yeah, I need to learn how to edit the videos. Oh no, wait. I don't even remember the. Okay. Look at this. What do you think of this? What do you think of this when you see this type of food? Come on. I mean, every country has food that is controversial. Come on. This is like all intestines and something like that made like a kind of like a stew. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I've tried it before. Yeah, I'm not such a fan of it. You can't just list food that looks disgusting. Come on, that's not fair.
Finnish food out of the fucking water. And this explains Finns' deep dependency on alcohol to make it through meals. Unfortunately, I have to take some points off for Finns.
Bro, and that's even totally wrong because you guys drink lots of milk during meals. So come on.
Finland in the alcohol category, man. The Nordic countries have some of the most evil laws in Europe when it comes to alcohol consumption. All the Nordics, apart from Denmark, because Danes are the only Nordic people who are lightweight and boring enough to be trusted with unrestricted alcohol, by the way. The rest of us have to deal.
I mean, if they wouldn't do that in Denmark, they could just take their car and go to Germany and come back, no?
With Gestapo-level alcohol laws. Being an alcoholic in a Nordic country is like being a prisoner in a cell. Every time I go back to my ancestral land of Sweden, I think to myself, wow, this would actually be the best fucking place on earth if it wasn't for the alcohol restrictions. Countries like Finland are almost perfect, genuinely. So clean,
How is
advanced,
that
efficient,
AI?
rich, progressive. I mean, the Nordics literally have the world's lowest reoffending rate for criminals because their prisons are solely based on rehabilitation instead of punishment. They let murderers serving life sentences out into nature so they can swim in the lake.
Okay, I need to know more about this, you know, because I've been watching some Finnish criminal shows and they actually are bringing always the criminals to jail, not to this type of jails. I've only seen this on YouTube, you know, in those documentaries. Maybe they're just like in some remote areas of Finland, I guess. But if you're like in a big city, in a top tier city, this won't happen. Let me know down in the comments how it works.
And then drive themselves to and back from university, bruh. Compare that to Russia, where they simply send petty criminals out as cannon fodder to be mowed down on the front lines, like all the other hundreds of thousands of dudes who've just been sent out into Ukraine with no training. If you haven't gathered already, this is Russia's traditional all-time method of war. It's exactly what they were doing in Finland back then. Of course, they don't just send criminals, they'll send pretty much any guy Putin can get his hands on.
That's crazy.
Seems as though they are going to put him on the front lines, not getting really any training because unfortunately when you're taught in a different language and you don't understand the language, how are you really getting taught?
Bro, how can this be believed? I cannot believe this stuff. Come on. Especially like an American. It's not even a Russian and they're gonna send him on the front line. That sounds very unlikely, right? Just because she's saying, the daughter is saying it, we should believe it. I don't know. I need more proofs to believe this stuff.
You're not. He feels like he's being thrown to the wolves right now.
Anyway, Finland's alcohol restrictions are, in all fairness, way better than Sweden.
Oh my god, I hate these fucking AI videos. Stop it.
Iceland and Norway's, but they're still stupid. In normal shops, you can basically only buy long drink and only before 9 p.m. to buy strong.
Didn't they change it right now, right? I think they changed this law. You guys told me before that you can get liquor stuff and beers up to 8% in the supermarket now.
Longer alcohol than long drink, you need to go to the government alcohol shop. It's like the alcohol dispenser, and they aren't open on weekends. You can't legally drink anything stronger than
22%
until you're 20, and some nightclubs can even be 22 plus, occasionally even 24 plus. And in these nightclubs and pubs, you can't buy pints of alcohol. Instead, you get a smaller 0.4 litre serving, which you could potentially be dropping like 10 euros plus on. It's insane.
Come on, if they would change this law, Estonia will probably fail, right? Everyone is going to Estonia to buy their alcohol. I mean, it makes sense, you know? Otherwise, how are you gonna do the calzaricanni?
But in all fairness, it does make Finland's government a lot of money. They really highly taxed the one thing Finns can't live without. It's kind of genius. And they use this money to provide really, really nice public services to the Finnish public. The nicest train I've ever ridden on in my entire life was Helsinki to Tampere. The conductor heard that me and my friends were foreign and he put us in a private room on the train, like a private suite. As a Brit, this blew my mind, and it would probably blow a Russian's mind too, because their trains are a bit Soviet still.
Bro, you see, there's too much bias. There's an Italian YouTuber that got lots of shit because he traveled a couple of months ago to Russia and vlogged it, you know? I don't understand what's the problem with it. I mean, it's not like he's a journalist or anything. He just wanted to show everyone else that he traveled to that country and whatever he encountered during his trip. He got the train with the sleeper room. How's it called? With the sleeper bed. I don't know how you call it. Whatever. And he paid. No, there were two of them. Him and his friend. They paid together 120 euro from Moscow from St. Petersburg to Moscow. That was crazy. Where are you gonna find such prices in Europe nowadays? I mean, You're not gonna find those prices, right? That was crazy. And it was super fancy as well, that train. So come on. Of course they have these shitty trains, probably some places like in central Russia or Siberia, but not like everywhere. Come on.
I mean, back in the day, the USSR were the goats of rail. It's just, you know, since then it hasn't modernized much, let's say. But let's look back to the main question at hand, alcohol. And in terms of representing Finland's opera, I'm not really equipped to talk about Russian culture. It's just a mythical far-out land of Adidas, sunflower seeds and potatoes, which I have very limited experience of. So I'm instead gonna hand over to my comrade, a true expert in this category, my Russian friend No Fuckers.
Блядь.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Pretty easy, actually.
Oh, I love this guy. I love this guy.
Just by being born in Russia. Eastern Europe in general and Russia in particular is pretty notorious for its heavy alcohol consumption. Even the first president of Russia, Boris Yeltsin, was an absolute legend when it came to getting wasted and could barely stand straight for most of the time. So why do Russians drink so much? I mean, it's pretty obvious in my opinion, just take a look around. When you don't have any color or sunlight in your city for like half of the year, when there's always some kind of war going on and there's corruption and injustice everywhere in society, it is no wonder why people start going heavy on the vodka. And even though right now I drink way less than I did back in the day, I did have my share of drunk Russian moments. Like when I was 19 years old, I got so drunk with my friends at my parents' apartment that I ended up absolutely obliterating my parents' toilet by falling on it while I was drunk. I also managed to smash a mirror in the bathroom and also rip the curtains off of the wall in.
I mean, that's not a Russian thing. We've all been there. I still remember when I was staying in Canary Island with my friend. He got so drunk one afternoon that he came back with the police. I was like, what the hell? They kept on knocking the door and I was like, I was playing poker. So I was like, just open it yourself. And then I heard, Policia! What the fuck? So I went and opened the door. I was so pissed off already that I had to lose money, but come on, it's the police, what are you gonna do? And then he went inside and I was like, what the fuck happened? And they were like, he was trying to hit on a woman in front of her husband and the husband beat the shit out of him. He was like there holding, his glasses were like that, half broken. And then the police left, he started to pumping up music, and then all of a sudden he felt, I don't know how, he had like a gaming chair like mine. No, it was not a gaming chair, it was like one of those older kitchen chairs. And he was just like playing like that, but he did, at the end he fell, but he didn't fall like backwards, he fell like onwards. I don't know how. So he fell onwards, he fell into his desk, dropped the monitor behind him, the monitor got smashed in pieces, and yeah, come on. Then he went to sleep because he couldn't anymore. I mean, he lost for the day. The next day, he wakes up. Oh my god, I hope he's not gonna watch this video, it's gonna kill me. Come on, it's too fun, it's too much fun, this story. The next morning, he wake up, he's like, oh my god, my head, I can't feel my head. What the fuck happened? And then he's like, I'm gonna go check out the computer, see what the hell did I do wrong last night. He goes ahead. He turned on the computer, it's like, oh my god, what is wrong with my computer? I can't see shit. What happened? And then I told him the story. He just went back. He just stayed silent, went back to sleep, and woke up the next day. And it was like, okay, we need to go to the city to buy a new mod. Bro, I would never forget that. Come on, so everyone has done some shit like that in the past. Come on. Maybe one day I will share mine.
One of the routes. Why? Well, the thing is that a lot of us Russians, we don't really get drunk to have a little buzz or to have a little bit of fun. No, it's about getting as fucked up as humanly possible, outdrinking all of your friends, and proving that you're the man, no matter the consequences. Russians really like to lose control when they're drinking, and maybe that's just because we feel like we're being controlled too much in our daily life, with all this censorship and whatnot. I don't know. And I know if you guys want to hear from me that I started drinking beer and smoking at the age of 12 like every Russian does. But I actually didn't because I was a good mama's boy. However, in my school by grade 7 we already had kids that were drinking and bragging about it in class. They were also doing like and shit like that, but that's a whole nother story. Russians love to drink, and when you meet a Russian person who says that he doesn't like to do it, it's actually a little bit sus. You know, kind of how like Vladimir Putin is known to never drink alcohol. Which honestly, only based off of that information, I'm already having massive doubts about his character, and I'm already questioning if he's, you know, the rightful person to represent Russia. The thing is, drinking culture in Russia is definitely changing these days, especially in big cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg and so on. Russians now enjoy drinking cocktails and craft beers and sitting in nice sophisticated bars and not just downing vodka in an alleyway somewhere, laying
Come on, craft beers are the best thing
their
ever.
own filth. And even in my hometown of Chelyabinsk, which is known to be the city of gobniks and real tough Russian men, the attitudes are also changing because in the city you now actually have things to do apart from just getting wasted. This is the reason why alcoholism is so widespread in Russia in the first place. It's the depression. There's an endless amount of dead-end, nowhere towns and villages in this country where absolutely nothing is happening. There's nothing to do and nowhere to go, and nothing is being built for the youth. And there is nothing to do in your free time apart from drinking. Now I feel like when it comes to being drunk, Russian people are a lot like the British in a sense, because they like to drink a lot, they get pretty loud, they get pretty annoying, and can also be kinda hostile. My hometown of Chelyabinsk basically turns into a GTA online server after midnight, where among normal people just being outside, you will have a lot of like gopniks, ex-criminals, and just wannabe thugs, who are just going outside for the purpose of getting drunk and trying to find somebody to fight. Walking outside in Chelyabinsk in
I would say that happens in most part of
the
Europe.
hood on a Friday night genuinely feels like King Von himself is out there somewhere looking for you. Like there's always gonna be some idiot that's gonna try to start shit with you, and the most dangerous spots to avoid at night are usually the liquor stores. Now you see what's funny is that in order to try to stop Russians from drinking, Russia actually has a curfew. Shops in Russia cannot legally sell alcohol after 11 p.m, but of course there are ways around it, and people usually either go to corner stores that just illegally sell you alcohol, or people go to these bars where they give you like a opened bottle, and that's like a legal loophole that lets them sell it to you. And oh lord, the characters that usually gather outside these places at night in Russia are absolutely ungodly. This is the place you go to get tested on your knowledge of Russian prison rules and lore. This is the place you go to get Basically, my point is, if you're ever in Chelyabinsk and you're not trying to get slimed, maybe it's best to avoid these points of interest. If you want to relax, you can just go to a regular bar at night, which will be much more chill. It will have craft beer, IPAs and all that. You'll be surrounded by nice hip young people, and also there's gonna be a DJ or something. And yes, Russia is actually pretty big on consuming and making their own craft beer, so there are ways to have a nice drink and avoid
I've never tried a Russian beer, to be honest, you know?
trouble in Russia. However, at the end of the day, it does not hurt to remember that you're in a country in which a lot of men are repressing a lot of feelings and emotions and tend to kind of act out when drunk. All the most traditional based Russian men turn super gay when they're drunk. This is classic. And you also need to remember that you're in a country where you have like tons of ex-criminals that got freed because they went to fight in Ukraine walking around. And you also have a lot of ex-soldiers with PTSD walking around and so on. Just try to pick your battles and drink in the cool spots with the cool Russians. You know, the IPA drinking hipster types. Don't hang out with the I'm gonna stab you because you don't like Vladimir Putin types. Get it? Also, another good reason to avoid these shady midnight liquor stores in Russia is because they actually sometimes sell fake alcohol that like literally makes people go blind when you drink it. And I'm not coming up with this shit because I've heard a lot of stories like this. Because when you're a true Russian alcoholic that is down bad, there is nothing that you won't drink. So when drinking in Russia, please observe your surroundings and don't let your guard down too much. Yes, drunk people can be aggressive and unpredictable in pretty much any country, but when it comes to Russia, from my personal experience, it feels like Russia is the absolute world leader when it comes to annoying people trying to start shit with you on a night out. Watch yourself. Na zdrowie.
So who wins, Finland or Russia? Both countries are so goated in this field, and many other categories too. Both nations have S-tier swear words, for example. Perkele!
Perkele!
Suka bliet!
Suka bliat.
Да ты чё?
Both nations have goated regional flags.
I mean, they're all so cool.
Both Both nations are gold medalists at oppressing native people, but I think overall, in a lot of ways, Finland is like the OP Russia. They're freezing cold, alcoholic, shitbox driving, heavy machinery operating, slop eating, forest dwelling people. As well, just instead of being third world country level poor, they are some of the richest people in Europe, whilst at the same time paying high taxes. So the country just has endless money to spend on cool, super high-tech shit like trains. I'm actually surprised there's less fweebs. I don't know why we don't have more fweebs, honestly, man. But maybe it has something to do with those stupid alcohol laws. I've been saying this my whole life. Look, if the Nordic countries stopped restricting alcohol, allowed everyone to stay out late, didn't have these insane age restrictions, etc., they would be the best place on planet Earth. However, unfortunately, for now, looks like I'm just gonna have to go with the middle ground for our winner. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be giving the W to Estonia.
I knew it was gonna end up there. I knew it was gonna win Estonia. For some reason, I knew it. Come on. Yeah, actually, I remember my friend used to be married with a Russian woman. They used to live together in, I mean, of course, they used to live together. They used to live in St. Petersburg. Then they broke up. He came back to Italy. And when he went back to St. Petersburg years after to get back his stuff that he left there, or I don't know, they had some business together, it was impossible to enter Russia. But he could just go to Estonia. There would be a city that I totally forget. It's a city where most of the population speak Russian. They don't even speak Estonian. And they have a bus that goes from there to St. Petersburg. And when he told me that, I was like, bro, what?
Estonia. The country is voraciously digital, the first to offer nationwide online voting, and nearly...
Wait, so Estonia was the country that invented Skype, I'm guessing.
Every government service.
Stardisignaal on antud.
That was fantastic. Wait, let me see it again. Oh my god. Bro, we need to react to this video next.
Stardisignaal on antud. Alanud on võistluse esimene etapp, mis kuulub selle juurde Eesti ujumise juurde ära tuleb juua.
Roosna-Alliku vallas Valasti külas, kus üks metskits tuli ühe pere ukse taha.
Is he gonna shit?
Hakkasin koera ketti vahetama, et vana kett oli juba kulunud ja panin uue.
Oh my god.
Thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you like this video, hit any of these buttons right here, down here, any of these buttons, slap them. It will really help me out. But more importantly, my massive YouTube goal is to beat Netanyahu 10x in subscriber count. So please, guys, help me ratio this guy.
Wait,
sub up
what?
now. Also, thank you to my Patreons. If you want to help fund my videos and also get your name right here, right now, then go sign up. Don't
Love this video, guys. Go and check out the channel of Geopold. Of course, if you are into these mobile games, this is the one that you should be downloading so you can support the channel. It was an incredible video. I really enjoyed it, you know. I love the memes. I mean, wow. That was just amazing. That was just amazing. Wow. So what is like the, I mean, I know you guys, you told me so many times, and we saw it in many videos, that you go to Estonia to get cheaper alcohol. I mean, you will also get drunk directly in the ferry. So what if you like import it like from online? Are you gonna pay extra if you buy it online that is get delivered to your house from another country? I really wonder about that, because it seems like the easiest solution, but I would guess you have to pay extra for it, or maybe it's even illegal. I have no idea. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm gonna end it right now because I've been talking way too much. I will see you in the next one.